Good morning, Year 4, and welcome to the third day of reading this week, which means it is the inference questions today. So first of all, we're going to have a quick vocabulary recap. So if you'd like to go over the words and the definitions again quickly and remind yourself of the actions, pause me now. If you're starting to feel confident with them, let's play a game. So today I am going to give you a definition and I would like you to say the word and do the action. So my first definition for you is to walk in a proud way, looking important. Yes, so well done. It is the word strutting. So you should have put your hands on your hips like so and be strutting around. So walking in a sassy way. Well done. My second definition for you, so do the action and say the word, is to join or attach firmly to something else or in place. Well done. The word is fastened. So we obviously did the action of fastening up our seat belts or a belt around your jeans. Or also you might be fastening or attaching something to you like a brooch or a badge. And another definition I have for you is when something is done in a hurried way and in a state of excitement or confusion. Well done. If you said it, that one is frantic. Frantic. So your action frantic was obviously frantic. You panicked. So well done if you managed to get those. Okay. I'm now going to flip my camera around and we are going to play another game. So you played this one with Miss Jones last week. It is the skim and scan game. So I'm going to say a word and you are going to skim the text as quickly as you can and find the words by placing your finger on it. So for example, if I said the word August, you will quickly read down and that one's very easy. It's right at the top. So we'll do it page by page. You're on page 5, the first page of the text at the moment. Okay, find the word enjoyed. Well done, everyone. So you should have scanned the text and you will have seen it here. So well done, there's enjoyed. Right, turn the page. So you are now on page 6, or you might just be following it on the visualizer, which is fine. Okay, find me the word chanted. Chanted. Well done. So scanning down, chanted is here. It's where the actors are chanting rumble down, tumble down. Here we go again. So they're kind of saying it in a harmonized, almost singing way. Okay, page 7. My word for you on this page is grumble. Grumble. Yep, well done. Scanning down, and we have it here. So, of course, grumble was one of our key words in our first week. So you should remember that it means to make a sort of, like you're imagining a grumbling stomach or the ground grumbling. So it's kind of making a rumbling type of noise. Okay, final page. Find me the word grabbed. Grabbed. Well done. Where's it going to be? Oh, it's there. Tranio grabbed her hand, so he took her hand in perhaps a bit of a forceful way. So there is grabbed. Well done. Hope you were super speedy. You might have even timed yourself doing it this week. That's an idea for next time, maybe. Okay. So let's move on to our inference questions today. So the first question on your sheet today is, why did Dion take Tranio down a shady passage? And I'm going to help you with this one. So I'm going to model it under the visualizer. And then you are going to have a go at the rest of the questions. So I've got my steps to success. I also have my question written down on my text. Okay, so Step 1 is asking me to underline key words in the question. So I've got, why did Dion take Tranio down a shady passage? So Dion's a keyword. I'm looking for why Dion did something. I'm going to be looking for Tranio, and I'm going to be looking for shady passage. I know it's on page 5. So step 2 is to skim and scan the text for my keywords. I've got Dion, Tranio, and shady passage. Oh, got Dion here. Tranio. Oh, well, that was nice and at the top for this one. So one hot August day, Dion took Tranio through a shady passage into one of Pompey's 2 theatres on the edge of the city where a pantomime was being rehearsed. Okay, so step number 3 is to read around the keywords, which I've just done. And now I've got to try and think about why Dion took him down that shady passage based on that. So the extra information I have from reading around the keywords is that it was a hot August day. So if it's hot, you often obviously go looking for shade. So would that answer my question? Why did Dion take Tranio down a shady passage? Well, yes, it would. So one part to my answer might be that because the weather is hot. Obviously, when you're hot, you look for shade. But if I keep reading as well, it says, Dion took Tranio through a shady passage into one of Pompey's 2 theatres. So he took him into one of Pompey's 2 theatres. So obviously, it could also imply that they went through the shady passage, and a passage might often be a shortcut or an easy way to get to somewhere. They went down the shady passage to get to the theatre, so perhaps it was the fastest way. So I've read around my keywords. Now I'm going to try and put it all into my answer. So Dion, capital letter because it is his name. Dion took Tranio, again, capital letter, down a shady passage. I'm being really careful to use the keywords from the question in my answer as well to make it stronger and to make me help it to make sense and answer the question. Dion took Tranio down a shady passage because it was a hot day and they were going to the theatre. So check my answer makes sense. So Dion took Tranio down a shady passage because it was hot. It was a hot day and they were going to the theatre. So it does make sense, but just because they're going to the theatre doesn't mean they were going down a shady passage. So I need to explain my answer a bit more. Dion took Tranio down a shady passage because it was a hot day and they were going to the theatre. And it was the fastest way to go. Okay, so my answer does make more sense now that I've just added that bit of extra information in. And does it answer the question? So why did Dion take Tranio down a shady passage? Yep, I've said that Dion took him down a shady passage because it was hot and they were going to the theatre and it was probably the fastest way to go. Okay, so that is the answer for question number 1. I would now like you to have a go at the other questions. So either pause me and do them on your sheet and then join us at the end where we'll go through the answers together. Or if you need them from the slides to copy down, I will move through them. Just make sure that you pause me after I click on each slide. Good luck. Okay, welcome back everybody. So you should have answered your questions by now, either on the sheet or by going through and pausing on those slides. So make sure you have a different coloured pen or pencil and we will mark the answers. So obviously we've done number 1. And Dion took Trani down a shaded passage because they wanted shelter from the hot sun and to get to the theatre. Question 2, which statement best describes how Tranio was feeling after he'd watched the entertainment in the theatre for a long while? The answer to that one was bored, because it tells us in the text, the final sentence on page 5 is, but eventually his attention began to wander. So that suggests that he is bored. If his attention's wandering, he's not focused anymore, he's not engaged, he is bored. Question 3, the stone steps creaked, the flaps began to rattle and the buildings quivered. Which word is closest in meaning to quivered? So quivered is obviously one of our words this week. And the answer is the word shook. So quivered is obviously small, jerky movements, and the closest word to that, therefore, is shook. Why did the actors fall silent? Onto page 6 for this one. Because the building quivered, props fell to the stage, and the scenery split. So they all fell silent, probably because they were in shock. Question 5 is, why were loaves of bread scattered across the bakery floor? Because the ground was shaking, which made them fall all over the ground, made them fall all over the place. Question 6, why did the goat bolt when the ground began to rumble? So the goat was scared, or it didn't know what was happening. So as you can imagine, for an animal, for us it's scary enough, but for an animal, if the ground started shaking, it'd probably be even more scary, because they are not as intelligent as us, so they couldn't understand what was happening. Question 7, why did Olivia cough? And that's because the air began to fill with ash. So obviously, as we've talked about in geography, if the air is filling with ash, ash is made up of quite sharp particles, and that is why it says Olivia coughed. In question 8, boats were bobbing on the choppy water and men began to untie the moorings and ropes. So which word is closest in meaning to choppy? Again, one of our key vocabulary words this week. And that is rough. So remember, choppy is when a body of water, such as the sea, moves in short and rough kind of motion or waves. Well done. So make sure you've marked those. If you didn't get them all correct, absolutely fine. Just make sure that you have a look at the text again, understand where you went wrong, and